Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss about segmentation and classification of text and non-text regions. The main problem statement is we need to classify these two text and non-text regions. Let's assume in a scanned document there may be a table, graph and figure and also text. So we need to classify these four things using the backpropagation neural network and support vector machine. And finally we need to conclude that which process gives the best results. So throughout this project we are comparing these two things. In the data set used in this mini project, it contains 240 images and 60 images for each class. That means text 60 images and figure, table and graph, and for these three classes also 60 images, and 80% is used for trained data and 20% is used for test data. By using this test data we need to find the accuracy for the backpropagation neural network and support vector machines. This is our main motto. Let's assume the input images like this. It just contains simply text, table and figure and graphs also. So in these types of scan documents we are training our model and comparing the results of both backpropagation network and support vector machines. Okay. Now pre-processing. In the first thing about this pre-processing, there is a block segmentation. In this block segmentation step, firstly thresholding. Our scan document need to be threshold using this Otsu threshold method. Definitely we know that this Otsu threshold method just maximize the between class variance, and after that we need to use the process called dilation. This is a morphological operation and it just adds a pixel to the boundaries. So by adding the pixels we can simply produce a individual blocks. After that labeling. Just to distinguish the each block we need to give each pixel for a certain block as one label. Then the pixel belongs to each block contains same label. So we can simply distinguish the each block. And the fourth step is zoning. That means in the previous step we are converting total image into blocks. In this step the block is converting into certain zones by using some grids size n by m. We need to select those sizes. So we are going to impose our grid on a binary image and we are just extracting the content of certain grid. So like that we are going to just divide this block into some zones. Okay, just assume we are at a certain zone and we are going to find out the average value of the all pixels. Definitely those pixels are belongs to the foreground zone only. So we are going to find out the average value for all things. This average value is given to the both networks, backpropagation network and support vector machines as inputs. That means for each zone value is given the input to these two processes BPNN and SVM, and we are going to find out the results. This backpropagation network like this, we all know about this thing, and it has one input layer and hidden layer and output layer. Initially we are assigning some weights and assuming some target values. By calculating output values, if these output values are related to the target value, and we are taking those things as outputs. If it is not, so using this backpropagation we need to modify the weights, and finally we want to calculate the output. And the cost function used in this backpropagation neural network is the sigmoid function. This is the equation 1 by 1 plus e power minus net value. So using this sigmoid function we are going to find out the net value, some output value. So by giving average values as inputs to this backpropagation neural network we are going to get some outputs. And second one is support vector machine. In the support vector machine, let's assume just observe in the left side image it contains a non-linear model, non-linear data, and we need to separate these two data just by adjusting some boundary lines. The boundary line is also non-separable boundary line, non-linear boundary line. This support vector machine just projects the 2D space into the 3D space. This entire data is going to be projected into 3D space, just like this. Then simply we can divide these two things by a certain plane, a linear plane. This is the main motto in the support vector machine. Just observe in the right side image. In this case, two classes we are taking, just taking two classes. The blue is the class B sample and A is the class A samples. Two classes are there. This support vector machine firstly going to find out a hyperplane, and in addition to that hyperplane, it is also find a margin. That means not a margin, that means it's finding a region, just boundary that is belongs to the first class, and also it generates a boundary that belongs to the second class. These boundaries are generated like which sample is nearer to this hyperplane. At that place, this support vector machine just produce a boundary line, and we need to just maximize this margin value, the distance between these two samples, left side samples and right side samples. That means class A and class B samples, the distance between these two classes we need to maximize. In that case, the error is in loop. And one more thing I need to discuss, if it is a linear, if the hyperplane is passing through a origin, definitely there exists a infinite number of curves. So among all the curves, which one is correct means, if which one margin is greater, then that thing only we are considering. In this case, the margin plane W transpose X plus B is equal to 0. If the W transpose X plus B is greater than something 0, and we are taking that sample is belongs to the class A sample. If that sample, particular sample W transpose X plus B less than 0, that sample is belongs to the second class B. So like this, in this example, just we are assuming only two classes, but this support vector machine can classify into any dimension, that means 4, 5, like that. Okay, in this formulation is just using the structural risk minimization principle. This is a statistical learning theory principle, and initially there is a traditional principle, that is empirical risk minimization principle, and it is implemented using conventional neural networks. But in order to taking this one, we are in this support vector machine, it uses structural risk minimization. There is some advantages taking this structural risk minimization. Those are just instead of minimizing absolute value of an error, just this support vector machine just minimizing the dimension. That means if we minimize the dimension, the error is also going to decrease. And as I am already mentioned, SRM is a statistical learning theory principle, and this SRM minimizes an upper bound on the expected risk. That means it just makes a upper bound on the risk. So, but this traditional principle ERM just minimizing the error on training data, and this ERM just implemented using the neural networks only. But using this neural network, definitely there is a problem of overfitting, and also there exists a local minima using some gradient descents. So in back propagation network, we are using some gradient descent like something concepts. So because of that, some local minima and we are using, and the back propagation theory, definitely there exists a overfitting problem also. But in this support vector machine, there is no local minima and there is no overfitting problem. That's why this is a better process to just classify the classes. among these text and figure table like this. And finally, there is one advantage, that is the support vector machine just comprising total entire data into few set of vectors, those called supporting vectors. Just as I mentioned earlierly, just look into the right side picture. The sample which is nearer to this margin or a boundary, and right side also there is x1 and x2. These two vectors we can call as supporting vectors. Using these supporting vectors, we can decide that particular sample is belongs to which class, and any testing sample which is belongs to which class or like that. So using this support vector machine, we can simply just classify the text and non-text regions. And these are the comparative results. Just I am considering 9 zones and 36 zones. By considering 9 zones in backpropagation neural network, I am getting 67.5% accuracy. And if we are using 36 zones, 78.8%. We can observe that if we increase the zones, definitely the accuracy is also increased. And after that, instead of using backpropagation network, if we are using support vector machine, definitely there is a improvement in accuracy. Just look into this one. If we are using 9 zones, the accuracy is 81.3%. If we are using 36 zones, the accuracy is 92.5%. So finally, the conclusion is that the support vector machine just outperforms the results of backpropagation neural network. And also, by using this support vector machine, it contains a low complexity compared to this BPNN, and the memory requirements is also very less. And thank you.